Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back.
It's available in the Grizzlies' den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com. Rip into bold color parallels, electric inserts, relics, and autographed cards from today's biggest stars and the next-gen talent. Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites Ja Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio. We're in FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Peter Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day better than I am. And I hope you properly appreciate what a Friday night win over the goofy Mavericks can do for a franchise, because in this case, what it did for the Grizzlies is it helped them avoid what otherwise would be a 6-game losing streak. Thank God we're not dealing with that nonsense. 1-1 weekend for our NBA franchise. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you while I try to speak words one after another without coughing. Wish me luck. Michael Eaves, host Sports Center for ESPN. He does it without coughing usually. He joins me on Mondays in the second segment. He'll be here in about 20 minutes. I think I owe him a congratulations, because I think I saw on social media, Michael Eaves, once again, hole-in-one on the golf course.
How about that?
He was alone when he did it. Acknowledged this is one of his fears. I've never had a hole-in-one, never even really been that close to one, so I don't know what that's like. But it does go through your head if you ever on a golf course. Like, if I were to have my first ever hole-in-one right now, there's nobody here to witness this. Would people even believe me? Michael Eaves experienced that over the past week. I'll talk to him about that and sports stuff. We're going to do it in about 20 minutes. Finish talking to Michael Eaves, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories among them. This time, Friday morning. Oh, man, how quickly things can change. Ryan Silverfield's Tigers were the projected favorite to represent the group of 5 in the 12-team college football playoff. But not anymore, and that's because they lost to vulnerable Tulane this weekend. Torpedoed their college football playoff hopes. Disappointing stuff. We'll mourn Tiger football. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. It was a better weekend. Well, that's a proper word, isn't it?
Okay.
Aren't you in mourning?
Yeah.
I'm in mourning.
I guess so.
I think we're going to mourn. We'll mourn a little later on. Better weekend for Penny Hardaway's Tigers. They won their season opener 76-70. They beat San Francisco inside FedEx Forum. That's a victory over a top 85 KenPom team. We'll talk Tiger basketball. We'll do it in just a bit. Hilarious comments from North Carolina freshman Caleb Wilson over the weekend following the Tar Heels win over Kansas. He wants to know why he's not in the conversation with Darren Peterson, with Cameron Boozer, with J.J. Debansa. Based on the way he played on Friday night, perhaps he's got a point. He told the haters to shove it. I'll give you the exact quotes. We'll do that in the third segment. Brian Kelly, former LSU coach, has reportedly rejected multiple offers to settle his buyout with LSU. I'll give you the latest on that situation. We'll do that a little later on in the show. And the White Stripes, Outkast, and Soundgarden were among those inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this weekend. Fun ceremony streamed live on Disney Plus on Saturday night. We had it on at the house. Sweet moment between Jack White and Andre 3000. I'll show that to you during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carry Out, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, and man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through it. I didn't realize until about 3 minutes ago that talking like this was going to be as difficult as it seems to be.
Did you not do the local honey? Right, you didn't, did you?
Then I'm not.
You didn't get the local honey like I told you to.
You gave me instructions and I ignored them.
You know, as someone who also has to talk for a living, I make it a point to do these vocal remedies,
yes.
And take care of this. I mean, this is important. I know it's covered by a beer, but this is important.
Yeah, you would think, given that my livelihood is directly tied to me speaking, I would take a little better care of my voice.
Yeah, absolutely. JB, I don't know if she's still here. You're not a big cough drop guy. I know that. I've been working with you for a long time. You're not a big. I've tried to, when you've had these moments, I've tried to throw cough drops at you, and you reject my cough drops every time. I got cough drops on me, right? You want a cough drop?
I could probably use one.
You want a cough drop? And I think JB has the medicinal cough drops. Yeah, do you need a cough right now?
You guys can see it.
Do you need to cough right now? Get it out. I'll turn your microphone off. Get that out of your system. There you go. Get it out, baby. Get it out.
It's tough. I have a upper respiratory infection. My little guy also dealing with an upper respiratory infection. We're going to be fine.
Okay.
But speaking is more difficult than it should be.
Okay.
I want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
That's because over the weekend, games 10 and 11, they were both played. Games 10 and 11 of a scheduled 82, both played in downtown Memphis. The Grizz won the first. They lost the second. Beat the Mavericks, as expected. Lost to the Thunder, as expected. As I told JB earlier on her show, I'll take it because nobody is ever supposed to beat the Thunder, especially not a team down 4 rotation pieces. So I obviously would have loved for them to get that win last night, given that at one point they were up 19 points. Like when you're up 19 points in a basketball game, I'd like to see you close that one out.
Yep.
But I never actually expected them to win on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, all things considered, which meant Friday night's victory over the Mavericks was like massive. To be clear, nothing too impressive about beating Dallas. All that really means is that you're not as bad as Dallas and that your GM is not as bad as Nico Harrison, right? These are low bars in both cases, right?
We are back in cup contention. We are back in cup. That's bigger than just one win. We're back in cup contention.
It was obviously a victory that doubled not only as a regular season victory, but as a NBA Cup victory.
You're damn right.
If you want to get yourself excited about NBA Cup action again,
I will.
I'm not going to hold you back. I'm not going to discourage that. I don't know that I'll join you, but I won't discourage it.
Okay.
I don't want to discourage your joy. I don't know that I'll join you, but I won't discourage it.
Dude, at this point, if we hoist a cup trophy this season, buddy, we will have a parade. If I have to organize it and lead it, we will have a parade.
It would be worthy of celebration.
Yes, it would be worthy of celebration.
If only because it would mean you're winning games, right?
That's right.
And winning games is
better than the alternative, yes.
Hey, they don't call you an analyst for nothing. Mm-hmm. If you don't beat Dallas on Friday night, then right now, Bennett, you and I are sitting here. You with a big beard, me with a shaky voice. We're both sitting here, and we're talking about a 6-game losing streak, resulting in a 3-8 record with a 4-game road trip on tap. And according to MasseyRatings.com, the Grizzlies are going to be at least a 5-point underdog in each of the next 4 games, meaning without that win over Dallas on Friday night, the Grizz would be on a 6-game losing streak with 4 very losable games coming up. That wouldn't be great.
No.
They're still just 1-5 in their past 6, 4-7 overall. Also not great, but it's better than where we could be. And more to the point, we just needed some good feelings. Like, we just needed a picture of the coach and the point guard, like, standing next to each other, technically touching each other. Like, we needed some good stuff, given everything not so good that had happened over the previous week. So that Friday night victory over the Mavericks, it was big in that regard. And now we'll see where things go from here. Bennett, I hope you're keeping warm because it's cold outside.
I thrive in this.
I
wish it was colder.
You look like you thrive in.
I wish it was colder.
You look like you thrive in freezing temperatures. You look like you are made for this. I'll give you that. I said I would take the 1-1 weekend. You'd also take the 1-1 weekend. You're okay with what happened, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, just as far as the Dallas game, like you said, you had to have it. You're just better than that team. That team's disastrous right now. You had to get that win, and I thought they looked good in that win over Dallas. As far as yesterday goes, man, if you could just find a way to bottle up that first half and take something from that and figure out how to build off of it. Obviously they were hitting a ton of shots, but even more importantly, they were moving the basketball, and that really just fell apart in the second half. Now, OKC's the best defensive team in the league, so that's gonna happen. But there was something there in that first half, and if they could figure out a way to, I feel okay coming off the weekend. Right. I'll say that much.
How about this? You feel better coming out of the weekend than you felt going into it?
That's right. I definitely do.
They needed to win badly.
Yeah.
Whatever happened on Sunday was going to happen. Yeah, when you're up 19, you want to win the game, but I never get away from this when it comes to the NBA. It's a 48-minute game.
Yep.
And
when they were only up 11 at halftime, I was like, that's not enough.
Yeah, no, it's a 48-minute game, and the better team, like elite teams, don't often care for the entire 48 minutes. And so this is a thing throughout the history of regular season NBA games. Yeah, you can be up after one. Like the worst team in the world can be up after one against the best team in the world and up in the third. But eventually things flip and take proper form. And even though, the Thunder are also shorthanded, they still have the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
They still have Chet Holmgren. And they still have undeniably the better basketball team and the better basketball roster. And eventually that showed itself over a course of 48 minutes. It was an unusual game because the Grizzlies were up 19 at one point. But if I would have told you before tip-off, at some point there's going to be a quarter, and it's going to be Thunder 34, Grizzlies 18. We're going to have that quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You would have been like, yeah, I could see that quarter. The Thunder had that quarter with a lot of people.
Yeah.
They were probably going to always have that quarter with the Grizzlies. So if it would have come in the first quarter, if it had been 34-18 in the first, then none of the other stuff we're talking about even registers. It's just like they were playing the best team in the world, they got down big, and then the game unfolded the way it unfolded. The reason it feels different is because that 34-18 quarter, it didn't come until the third quarter, and it came after the Grizzlies had already outscored the Thunder in the first two. So it felt like you were allowing a game that was gettable to get away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess on some level that is true. But if you'll acknowledge that 34-18 was always coming at some point, then you were going to have a tough time.
Yeah, and you knew it was coming. And, obviously it doesn't. I mean, your two stars combined for 14 points in the second half.
And that's a real problem, too. We can keep talking about Zach Edey's hurt and Brandon Clark's hurt. And, man, Ty Jerome would be nice to have. And, damn, I can't believe we lost Scottie Pippen Jr., too. But at some point, your stars got to be stars, and they are not playing that way right now.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm sure you saw it, on the TV broadcast. I mean, there was multiple times Ja was grabbing his back yesterday.
Yes, he seemed bothered, agitated.
Yeah, he was definitely bothered by something yesterday. And he talked in the post game just about his slump that he's in right now, and he is without a doubt in a slump.
It's career low everything.
It's career low everything. Because I see what some people are saying, and it's impossible for me to sit here and believe that this guy has just lost a step and he's not going to be able to get back to the player that we've seen him be for years.
Okay, that's fine, and I accept that. It's impossible for you to believe that. It is very possible for other people to believe it because they say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Click on your favorite NBA analyst who talks into a microphone.
Yeah, no,
and the thing you just said is impossible for you to believe. Most of them seem to believe it.
Yeah, I mean, but we've seen him take over a game literally this season in that Phoenix Suns. Like, we have seen it this season. It's not a season-long thing. Again, like you said, people that cover this sport for a living are saying this.
I mean, I saw somebody jump on in front of a microphone last week, and they said, I don't even know if he's like a top 10 point guard. People keep talking about he used to be a top 10 player. I don't even know if he's one of the 10 point guards I would want on my team. I'm not here to tell you whether that's right or wrong. I'm here to tell you it is what NBA people are now saying. And they were saying it in advance of last night's game where he obviously struggled and went 3 of 18 from the field.
Yeah. I think it's going to be so interesting to see how how this plays out over these next couple weeks with a road-heavy schedule. My friend Parrish Sharkey put out that they're 0-7 against teams 500 or above.
And 4-0.
I'm sorry. 0-7 against teams, 500 and above, and 4-0 against teams below 500.
That's right. They beat bad teams, they lose to the good ones.
Yeah. So
if that is your reality, if that's who you are, they're about to lose 4 straight games.
Right. So
which would be a 5-game losing streak and result in a 4-11 record before they get back home.
The next 2 games, though, I said this last night on the double post. The next 2 games are at MSG and at TD Garden. And that's like, first off, we've seen Ja have massive games in Boston before. And then obviously, like Madison Square Garden, like that's where the stars go to shine, right? So
you would hope so. But when they were there last year, nobody shined except for people in Knicks uniforms.
That is correct.
I was
you were there.
And they got blown out. I was like, man, if you ever want to really announce to the world that you're back, that you're a factor in the West, that you're one of the best players in the world, that you have 2 of the best players in the world, maybe even 3, this would be a great time to do it. It was a Monday night in Midtown Manhattan, if I remember correctly. I went to the game with my buddy Wally Zerbiak, who does broadcasting for MSG, and it was a blowout pretty much from start to finish. And like I was talking to Jessica earlier, I don't know that was technically like the beginning of the end or where things started to spiral, but that felt like a game where it emphasized you are good at beating bad teams, not good at playing against good teams, and you just came into the Garden against an Eastern Conference contender and got run completely off the court. So, no better place in the world to reestablish your place in the sport than Madison Square Garden. But not everybody does it.
That's true. And then if you remember last year, I think their best win of the entire regular season last year was that game at Boston early in the season, which is kind of a similar situation you're in this week. So, I hope that he turns it around. They're just going to be in a situation this week where he is going to have to put them on his back if they're going to win some of these games. It's just true.
He's going to have to play better.
Yeah.
Right now, it's 35.8% from the field. That's a career low. It's 14.8% from 3. That's a career low. 94.9% from the free throw line. I don't know what's going on there. But
and he's been really good this season. Yeah, you're right. Like I think he missed one yesterday, and everybody was shocked by it.
Right. Yeah. So he's got to be better. He knows that, and perhaps on the road is a good place to try to be better. If not, it's going to be a difficult road trip. Next 4 on the road, all 4 they are projected to be underdogs. Let's get to Michael Eaves. He hosts SportsCenter for ESPN. He'll join me right after this break. We'll return to the Grizzlies a little later on. This is the Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of over $550,000 in free play and a brand new Lincoln. Here Comes Santa takes flight on Saturday, November 1st, when you can begin earning entries. And don't forget the grand finale drawings on Saturday, November 29th and Saturday, December 27th to win a share of over $40,000 in free play or a brand new Lincoln. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
The Grizzlies are the one thing everyone in the family can agree on, so join us every Sunday this season for Sunday Family Fun Days. It's a steal at just $35 and includes a ticket to the game, a $10 food voucher, post-game free throws on the court, and a meet and greet with mascot Grizz. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now for this unique experience your family won't soon forget. Go to grizzlies.com/Sunday and have a fun day.
Check this out. Last season in the NBA, there were 139 40-point games. We're like 5 days in, 6 days in, and we have had 16 already. It is on pace for over 300 40-point games.
Holy crap. Sheesh.
That would be the pace.
Yeah.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. I'm inside the Built Ford Tough studio, and on Mondays in the second segment, I'm joined by Michael Eaves, who, of course, works for SportsCenter, works for ESPN, hosts SportsCenter for the worldwide leader, and he's here right now. Michael Eaves, it's Gary Parrish, and I think I owe you a congratulations. Do I have this right? Another hole-in-one for you?
Yeah, and it was so nonchalant hole-in-one of all time, and I don't mean that to brag. It was just I was playing by myself. Hit the green, it went in, and I looked dejected because there was no one there to witness it with me. So it's like the best thing and worst thing never happened to you on a golf course. But yeah, it was still pretty cool nonetheless.
How many is that for you in your life?
That's number 4.
Okay.
And I've had 3 in the last 4 years, which is kind of crazy. But here's the crazy part: it's the 2 of the 4 have I actually seen go in the hole.
Right.
The last 2 I didn't even see go in, but at least I had people there with me. This time I saw it go in, but I was all alone. So it is what it is.
My eyes are so bad, I don't think I could see it if it happened. I've never had a hole-in-one, but the closest I've ever come, it happened while I was by myself, and I had that same sort of like, it's not fear, that's not the right word. Like fear is like a man with a chainsaw coming at you.
Yeah, disappointment. You're disappointed you're by yourself.
You just want to, like, it's a moment, and you don't have anybody. I think about this all the time. Like I have friends who go on vacations by themselves, and like that can be amazing, I guess. But I like want to be with people and enjoy it with friends and family and whatever. And fear's not the right word, but I have had that moment. What if that went in? It's my first hole-in-one, and I'm just here by myself like an asshole. Like I've had that.
I definitely would not want my first one to be alone.
Right.
That's for sure. But my first one came almost 30 years ago.
Right.
But it's definitely more fun when people are around. But here's the thing, though. You want one regardless of how you get it. So until you get that first one, man, take it any way you can.
I will. I will take it any way I can get it if I can have one someday. I've had this thought. Do you think there's we'll get to a point, if this is something golfers, and it's so small, but golfers actually think about, it would be very inexpensive for like every par 3 at a nice golf course to have a camera set up at the tee box, and it's just constantly rolling. And if it ever happens for you, you could actually go to the clubhouse and get video of your hole-in-one. Like, why doesn't that exist already?
Like some clubs do have that.
Okay.
At there are certain par 3s, not all of them. And to your point, it is fairly cheap. I mean, you can put a webcam up pretty much anywhere.
Yes.
It's a really good idea, especially if you're talking about the par 3 courses and the short courses that are coming up to get people more involved in the game. I think it's a really good idea. Like at my club, we have a monitor in the pro shop that lists all the hole-in-ones on the course for that year. But if you had the opportunity to have it video, yeah, I think that's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, talking to Michael Eaves from ESPN. Let's talk sports. Unfortunately, we have another gambling scandal connected to professional sports, this time with Major League Baseball. Basically, pitchers spiking pitches to allow prop bets to pay off. They got caught the way everybody else gets caught these days. But is this something we're just going to have to deal with every week or every month? Another big scandal connected to sports at some level?
No, I don't think it'll be that frequent. But what happens is, what has happened, is that sports betting in America came together pretty quickly, right? We'd had none of it except outside of Vegas, right? And then all of a sudden, it's pretty much everywhere. So because it became so prevalent so fast, some things sort of got away from, I don't want to say the regulators, but people who monitor stuff, right? And so now that it's so prevalent and they've got their monitors up to a level where they can catch stuff like this, it won't happen nearly as much because now people realize how easy it is to get caught, right? Now I'll say this. In the entire history of sports betting, there's always been betting and there's always been games that have been rigged, right? We can go back to the Chicago White Sox and the scandal they had in the World Series, or just throughout the history of time. There's going to be these occurrences. They won't be this frequent just because there's going to be a better handle on the money coming in. It's easier to watch now, quite honestly, and look for these discrepancies. And now that the leagues are in partnership, Gary, with these sports books, they're really about it. And so you're going to see, I believe, a lot fewer of these incidents in the future.
At some point, I guess we're all learning in real time with these prop bets. I guess somebody does get away with them, but they get flagged pretty easily. And I wonder if we aren't going to just scare people straight. Like maybe Jonte Porter thought, oh, nobody will know. But like we're getting to a point where, no, they're going to know because any money on this very specific stuff sends up the red flags. I hope that what happens is with these pitchers getting busted and basketball players getting busted, it really does just scare people. And like, it's like trying to break the speed limit when you know a cop has got the gun at you. You just don't do it. You're going to get caught.
Well, usually what happens is it's greed, right? So no one who puts $25,000 on the first pitch of the second inning being a ball.
That's right.
Like that's just an asinine wager. Now, if you're putting $25,000 on the Heat to beat the Thunder, all right, those bets happen all the time, but no one's putting that much money on those type of prop bets, and that's what happened. Now, for whether it's some of the Terry Rozier allegations or even in the baseball, like those prop bets. And I said to our betting reporter last night, Dave Purdom, I said, you can literally almost put a bet on anything now. And when you can have that many, they're easier to manipulate because a guy can say, all right, so my over-under tonight is 12 points, but I know I'm only paying 20 minutes because I'm on an injury restriction here. That's very easy to manipulate. Yeah. Or a first pitch ball, because you're not going to bet on a first pitch strike because not only does that depend on the umpire calling it a strike, it depends on you making the pitch. It's easy to throw a ball. That's really easy. Or throw one less than 95 miles an hour or more than 95 miles an hour. That's also easy to manipulate. It's those type of prop bets, Gary, that I think could start to go away and make it a little harder for these manipulations to happen.
The Steelers lose this weekend. Aaron Rodgers, one of the worst performances of his career, barely completed half of his passes. Mike Tomlin was asked for his assessment after the game. He gave a very short response that was dismissive of it all. Is this just a, hey, bad week, or you're 41 years old and this stuff is hard to do at 41 years old?
Yeah, it's the latter. He's 41, and it's hard to do it consistently. What makes great players great is their level of play on a consistent basis. And when it comes to the quarterback position, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who was better at that than Aaron Rodgers during his prime. But he's not in his prime. He's far from his prime, and that's okay. But he's out there still better than more than half the quarterbacks in the league. But it was pretty apparent early on in that game that he just didn't have his best stuff. I mean, there was one route, receiver was running out towards the right flank towards the end zone, and he overthrew him by like 5 yards. And Aaron Rodgers, one of the most accurate passers in the history of the game. So that's not like him. Some nights, Gary, you just don't have it. And the older you get, the more nights you have such as that. And that's what happened with Aaron Rodgers.
In college football, Indiana wins an improbable game at Penn State. Not improbable at kickoff, but improbable the way the game was unfolded. Curt Cignetti, after the game, he's Indiana's coach, said it was one of the wildest victories he's ever been a part of. I don't care much about the game, but just broadly speaking, this Indiana story. They're 10-0. This is a basketball school that has turned into a football power, seemingly by just hiring a uniquely talented guy and giving him the resources to be great. What do you make of what we're watching in Bloomington?
What a way to build a program, right? As opposed to chasing these bigger names and paying them more money than they deserve based on what they've accomplished at that point. How about going out and actually being good at your job from an athletic department standpoint and recognizing real talent, regardless of what age they are, right? Get a coach that you think is really good at coaching football and coaching young men and assembling a staff, and then pay him a decent salary. And then if that coach then achieves a certain level of success, then you can reward him for that success. That's what Indiana has done. Now, granted, it's easier to do that at Indiana, as you mentioned, because it's a basketball school. It would be similar if they did it at Kentucky or Memphis for that regard. But these other power football who think they are title contenders every year, they're the ones who end up probably making the most of these errors when it comes to overpaying these coaches, whether it was at Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher and now LSU with Brian Kelly, and the list goes on. But the way has done it tells you the real blueprint if you're trying to build a program.
And for people who don't know, he was a Division II coach who won at an incredible level wherever he was coaching, and then finally got the chance to do it at this level. And he's knocking it out of the park. And I've had conversations with different people in the industry about how the coaching profession is changing. I wonder what you think about this. I told somebody, I can remember there was a time where the Memphis basketball job opens or the Kentucky basketball job opens, and any job, and you would have to talk about it like, okay, if you're going to have that job, you've got to know how to deal with these AAU coaches or deal with to recruit in this city. Like, this is something that people would always talk about if the Michigan basketball job opened. Yeah, well, can the guy who you're portraying as a candidate, is he going to be able to recruit Detroit? Things like that were always a thing. Now, relationships aren't as important as paychecks, as just NIL deals and revenue sharing. Yeah. I think you can skip a lot of the stuff that used to be important when hiring a coach and just look for somebody who knows how to run a program and knows how to win football games or basketball games, whatever sport you're doing. As long as you support them properly, that's all you need. And the other stuff that used to matter doesn't matter nearly as much or at all anymore. What do you make of that?
I think the one thing that will always matter more than anything, and that includes NIL money, Gary, is recognizing talent and developing it. Yeah. Okay? Because if you go out and just look at some recruiting list and you say, all right, we're going to try to get as many guys in the top 50 as we can, and you pay them, that doesn't mean they're going to be good, and doesn't mean they're going to work in your program. So I think the core skill trait that every coach needs is the ability to recognize and then develop that talent. But to your point, that you can get a guy like A.J. DeBunza to go to BYU because you're paying him all that money, but that talent was clear. Anybody can see how great that kid is, right? So if you want to spend that money to get him to go to your program as opposed to letting him go to UCLA or Kentucky or Memphis or St. John's for that matter, okay, fine. But as your coach, they have to be able to recognize and develop talent no matter how much money you're spending, because ultimately it is about assembling that roster that plays together, and that's what IU has been able to do over these last couple of years.
Last thing before I get you out of here, sad news this weekend. Lenny Wilkens, the Hall of Fame coach and former all-star player, people forget that part of his life. He was a top 10 pick in the draft. Passed away this weekend at the age of 88. I imagine there were young people yesterday enjoying the NFL, enjoying their weekend, and this pops up on their timeline, and they're like, who? I bet you not everybody knew who Lenny Wilkens was. I know you did. I saw you retweet it. For people who are unfamiliar, can you, in your own words, what Lenny Wilkens meant to the sport of basketball?
Well, he's literally one of the most important people in the history of the NBA. He was a Hall of Fame player, and he was a Hall of Fame coach. That is rare in any sport. But also for Lenny Wilkens to do those two things as a black man and to accomplish everything he did in the league based on his background, it's hard to put in a proper context, Gary, his overall value and contribution to basketball. In Seattle alone, he's considered the godfather of basketball, and that team hasn't had an NBA franchise in obviously more than a decade. That's how much he still means up there, leading them to a championship and being just a quality human being. But the way that other people talk about him, the way Steve Kerr talked about him on Sunday, having played for him as a coach and understanding his overall route to the Hall of Fame in two different capacities, gives you an idea of just how valuable he was to the game. And to your point, there is an entire generation who doesn't know, and they may never know. But I wish in these moments where we have these legends pass away, that would be some type of spark to go back and find out, why is everyone talking about this man in this way? Who was he exactly? And to bring on your own personal level of education about some of the greats, because if it wasn't for some of these people, you wouldn't have the things that are going on in the league right now in terms of, how popular the league is, how the players perform now, and also just how much fandom has been created by the legends who built the structure for the current day basketball, especially the NBA.
That's really well put. That is Michael Eaves from ESPN. Make sure you're watching him on SportsCenter. Follow him on X at Michael Eaves. That's at Michael Eaves. You're the best, buddy. Congrats on the hole-in-one, and I will talk to you next week.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. When we come back, turn our attention to, I put it off as long as we could, Bennett.
Yep.
The Tigers, they blew it. They blew it. They lost Friday night, Simmons Bank, to vulnerable Tulane. And now the college football playoff hopes, I guess they're not dead, but, they're in the hospital. They're in the hospital. We'll mourn Tiger football. We'll do it next.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Now that's the new edition way.
But I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All three of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back.
It's available in the Grizzlies' den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com. Rip into bold color parallels, electric inserts, relics, and autograph cards from today's biggest stars and the next-gen talent. Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites Ja Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Oh, Bennett, we blew it.
Man.
Oh, Bennett, we done messed up this time.
That hurt.
What would Tommy West say about this?
He say it's painful.
It's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah, it was, man.
Why did we do that?
Dude,
Why do we always do that?
Okay, so I was here. Obviously, we had a game on Friday night, and so I'm following along. Like, I've got it on my phone. We're doing the post game, and it's like, oh, okay. It's like, because it was 35-7, which first off, 35-17 at halftime, that's just, it's over. Like, it's over, okay?
It sure felt that way. Technically not true, but, buddy, it sure did feel that way.
And listen, they have had some Memphis Football has had some amazing comebacks this year. And like, they obviously, the Arkansas game stands out. I don't want to say, well, they did come back in the UAB game, but ended up which ironically, they ended up blowing it because of a penalty at the end of the game, which happened in this game on Friday night. But now,
You put a quarterback who's maybe better with his legs in a position where he needed to throw it with the game on the line because of a penalty.
And it honestly was a good throw. I thought Cortez should have caught that. I did. Like, it wasn't a great throw by any means, but like, as good as Cortez has been this year, I thought he probably should have caught that. But you shouldn't have been in that situation anyways. Like, that's the whole thing, is just giving up 35 points in a half is just, you're not going to win football games. You're just not. And it's going to come back and bite you.
I was in Annapolis, Maryland. I was at the Veterans Classic for CBS Sports Network doing sideline duty on that event. Always great to be on the yard, as they say, in Annapolis. I was scouting Navy in advance for, I wanted to come back and tell you what we're up against going forward. Seems like that was wasted energy, right? Well, I got done with the game, Yale beat Navy, and Tulsa beat Rhode Island. Tulsa, keep an eye on them in the American.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad. That was a pretty good basketball team I won. So
I'm asleep.
So but then we were done there, and because you got a little bit of a late kick at Simmons Bank and an early tip in Annapolis, I was able to settle into the hotel bar for most of the second half. So I'm sitting there with my producer and my play-by-play man, John Sadak, who, of course, is the voice of the Cincinnati Reds. And so he's just picking my brain about Memphis. It's like, GP, it looks like they're coming back and they're going to have a chance here. And how excited are people? And college football playoff. And where do the projections have them going if they're the 12th seed? Oh, wow. At Georgia, that would be amazing. Is that the type of thing you would go to? And we're having fun. And then it's like, why'd they lose?
Dude, I was so
why do they always do this? Like, seriously. Like, what? Like,
I know.
Because this is a thing that's now connected to you.
No, this is a thing
This
now.
is who
Yes.
you are now. All right? I take no joy in this. But when people talk about you now, this is what they say.
Consistently good.
Consistently good. Oh, they're going to win games. Best funded football program in the American, because it is. But for whatever reason, when it's time to play for the conference championship, they just ain't never there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like...
And they're usually not there. Not because there's two teams that are clearly better than them. And not because they just lost to somebody that is obviously superior. They're often not there because of this. Because they lose a game you're not supposed to lose.
And to be clear, like, it's not this game. It's the UAB game is the one that makes this all worse. If you didn't lose that UAB game, you lose this game against Tulane, and you can still, like, it's all still probably in front of you.
Sure, there are better wins and better losses and worse wins and worse losses. The UAB loss is worse than this loss. But to be clear, to my point, you were supposed to win the UAB game, and you were supposed to win this one too.
That's right. No,
you were favored at kickoff. You're supposed to win the game.
It's very true.
You just blew your college football playoff chances by losing a game at home that you were supposed to win.
And it hurts. I was down in the control. I know that Jacob and Robbie and Sean hate me because I was just down there like yelling while they're trying to get work done at midnight to get out of here. And it's just like, it rips your heart out, man. I mean, this, again, for me, the college football playoff has always been one of those things that's like, God, that would be amazing. And I love talking about it and dreaming about it. But for me, like, a conference championship is what matters so much. Like, that is something that we've just wanted for so long. And it's another year where it's like, again, things can happen. Teams can lose. You could win out. Things could happen. You could back your way into it. But I'm not going to sit here today and act like that's a likelihood. It's another year of losing at least a game that you have no business losing in the UAB game, and that wrecks your chances of playing for a conference championship. And it sucks because they have been a great program, and they are a good program. Like they've won a ton of games in the Ryan Silverfield era, but damn, man, not being able to get that conference championship, it's just brutal, or not even being able to play for it.
And this is a problem that comes with expectations. For most of my life, I had no expectations for Tiger football.
And
for most of my life, it was just like Tiger football is a thing that happens. They're usually not good. If they are, we'll pay attention. But whatever. But that has changed.
It has changed.
You now have real expectations placed upon you based on what Justin Fuente did, based on what Mike Norvell did, based on what Ryan Silverfield has done. You have real expectations on you. You're supposed to be a good football program. You're supposed to be better than everybody else in the American. You think you are. You say you are. It's why you're trying desperately to get out of this league, or at least in part, it's why you're trying desperately to get out of this league. And it is the best funded. Like, I don't know how many other places this is true in college athletics, but the best funded football program in the American and the best funded basketball program in the American both belongs to the University of Memphis. Is that true in the Big Ten? The best funded football program is probably Ohio State in the Big Ten. I can just tell you that is not the best funded basketball program. The best funded basketball program in the SEC, that's probably Kentucky. It's not the best funded football program in the SEC. So this is a unique thing that we have going on in Memphis right now. But it's true. Memphis has the best funded football program in its league and the best funded basketball program in its league. And with the football program now, winning 10 games is not good enough anymore. I know that sounds crazy. Like, oh yeah, you won 10 games. Who cares? But like, that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I mean,
do you care? They're going to win 10 games again. How you feel?
Yeah, so
they're going to win 10 games again. How do you feel?
Okay, so like me and you've done this for a long time, and I've sat here in years past and said, think about where this used to be. I'm never going to sit here and get upset about 10-win seasons and winning a ton of games at Memphis football. But to your point, it is a trend now.
How do you feel right now?
It's a trend now of a long time of this program has been elevated to a completely different level. There are like expectations now with Memphis football.
Yeah, I don't care where you thought or imagined you would be once upon a time. I'm talking about right now. You're sitting in it. How do you feel? How do you feel today about Memphis football relative to how you felt Friday morning about Memphis football?
I mean, just a little dejected because, again, like, listen, that Arkansas game was amazing. Like, we'll have that memory. That was a great point in this season. But, again, like, coming into the season, we all said, get to the conference championship game and let's see what happens. Like, you got to get to the conference championship game. And they're likely not. And
right.
So that's disappointing.
Like, here's the best way I can show you that winning 10 games is not good enough anymore. As crazy as that sounds, here's the best way I can illustrate it for you. How do you feel? They're going to win 10 games. How do you feel?
Right now,
the most likely scenario for Memphis is that they win 10 games and don't play for a conference championship.
And that would be disappointing.
Okay, so then we don't have to argue anymore. Is winning 10 games not enough? We don't have to argue. It's not. I just showed you it's not. You live and die with this stuff. You feel like shit. It's not enough. It's not enough. And I don't care where you imagined you would be if you grew up in the 80s with Tiger football or the 90s with Tiger football. You've been caring about it before D'Angelo Williams even existed. And I'll never be the person complaining about 10-win seasons. That doesn't matter anymore because, like, here we are. This is where we're at.
And it's a good thing.
It's a great thing. But just winning a bunch of games but not getting to where you're trying to get to, like, that's not good enough anymore. It's not. This time on Friday, the whole world had you projected to play in the college football playoff. And you can, in each of the past 2 seasons, go back to a very specific point in time, and just say, if these very reasonable things happen from this point forward, the University of Memphis will play in the college football playoff. There are points, very specific points, in each of the past 2 years where you could reasonably daydream about that. And in this season, it was actually like you were on the TV show. You were on the TV show. They unveiled the initial college football playoff rankings and the initial college football playoff bracket. And you were in the bracket. You were in the graphic. And now you'll probably never be in the graphic again this season.
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
I know I also said the Arkansas. Also, the USF win was amazing, too. Like, that was a blast. There have been some really fun moments this season. There is no question about it. Like,
they're less fun when you give them back.
That's true. And, like, you want to compare it to last season? Like, I'm going to look back on this season, even though, like, the likelihood it's going to end in disappointment way more fondly than I will last season. So I just want to put that out there. And again, I don't want to be definitive because they could still find their way to get to a conference championship game if they win these next 2 and other things happen. But right now, you don't control your own destiny. So
right. It's not in your hands anymore.
Right.
It was in your hands.
Yep.
And the thing that has taken it out of your hands is a loss to a UAB team that fired its coach.
That one's just
and
hard
a home
to
loss
understand.
to a Tulane team that you were supposed to beat. So congrats on your Arkansas and USF win, but you have squandered a chance at history by losing games to teams you're not supposed to lose to. That's tough. That's tough. It doesn't mean anybody needs to be fired or whatever.
I'm glad you say that.
We're not starting all of that. All right? But, like, I don't think Ryan would disagree with anything I'm saying.
He sat there in the post game.
He might not like that I'm saying it. I acknowledge that. But I don't think he would disagree with me.
I mean, dude, he acknowledged in the post game everybody's disappointed.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Of course. And so now you'll play out the rest of this season, however it plays out. But barring a surprise, it won't get you where it looked like you could get just a few days ago. It's disappointing. Disappointing.
Man.
Disappointing.
That hurt.
It does hurt.
It's painful.
It's painful.
Number 2.
Hey, let's move on to some better news.
Okay.
Penny Hardaway's Tigers, they're 1-0.
Now, that was encouraging.
That was.
It really was. Because listen, man, I do wonder if Penny was playing maybe some mind games with his team a little bit with some of his comments early last week.
Perhaps coaches do this sometimes.
Yeah.
I am more conditioned to believe he was just saying what he was seeing.
Sure.
That's what we know about him throughout his head coaching career at Memphis. He kind of just like says what he's thinking. Like he's not much of a filter. I think he's more filtered than he used to be by design.
Mm-hmm.
By design. You know, we ain't heard of like F. Rick Barnes in a minute. But I don't believe he was trying to manipulate anything as much as I need these guys to be better, and they're not right now. So there was real concerns going into the season opener against San Francisco because that's a top 85 team in the country, according to KenPom, and Memphis was coming off back-to-back exhibition losses to good but not great SEC schools by a lot of points. And so we talked about it last week. The San Francisco team's good enough to beat you. The projected score was one thing. The point spread was much smaller.
Yeah. And now you root like hell for San Francisco the rest of the season.
Of course.
Right.
But if you don't win that one, it's a little bit like when we were talking about the Grizzlies with Friday night. If you don't win that Mavericks game, you're right now on a 6-game losing streak that could turn into 10. If the Tigers don't beat San Francisco over the weekend, they're 0-1 headed to Ole Miss. That's probably 0-2 with Josh Pastner coming in here. And then you should be able to get that, but then you're down to the Bahamas to play 2 games you're supposed to lose. After that, Southern Illinois and New Orleans. But then it's a 4-game stretch with Baylor, Louisville, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. It was really important to get that first win just because there's some of these you're just not going to get. You're just not going to. And so you need to get every one you can. And the San Francisco one was one that you could, and they knocked it out. Impressive performance. And I think you can draw some conclusions from it, at least attach some hope to it. Specifically this. It is likely that this non-league schedule is going to prove to be too challenging for Memphis. I'm not predicting it. I hope they go undefeated. But based on everything we've seen on the court and all of the computer data available, the most likely scenario is that this non-league schedule is going to be challenging. And they could come out of it. I mean, they could be 5-5 through 10 games, 4-6 through 10 games, 6-6 through 12, 5-7 through 12. And that's not something Memphis fans are used to. You know, they used to have a coach who won nearly every game for like a 4-year period. So suddenly being 500 through 10 games or through 12 games, like that's unusual, and it can be very easy for the fan base to clock out. What Penny, I'm confident, is going to tell you, as long as this non-league schedule doesn't get too far away from them, is that, yeah, we're taking some wins and we're taking some losses and, you know, we're hovering around 500 right now. But, like, when we get into our league, we're not playing Purdue and Baylor anymore. We're not playing Ole Miss and Mississippi State anymore. You know who we're playing? A bunch of teams like San Francisco or worse. Because here's the truth. San Francisco right now is 84th at KenPom. Do you know where that would rank if you just slotted them in the American? Do you know where that would rank?
Second place. I was going to say.
Almost second. It's Memphis, first at 55.
USF.
No, actually North Texas at 82.
Oh, yeah, they've had a good run.
And then it would be San Francisco at 84. San Francisco right now would slot as the third best team in the American, and Memphis just beat them in the season opener. What you can draw from that, I think, is that regardless of what happens in the non-league, or almost regardless of what happens in the non-league, you can reasonably assume that as soon as they get to the conference schedule, everything lightens up. And they're just playing a bunch of San Franciscos more often, teams not even as good as San Francisco. You can handle that. You can handle that part of your schedule. The question becomes, can you handle the early part of your schedule? I don't know. But you really needed to get that first one, and they got it. So that was a nice win. And Sincere Parker was, you could see why they went out and got him and why they are allowing him to play under less than ideal circumstances. He's talented.
Yeah, oh, for sure. He's talented. And I the guy, he wears the T-shirt and the black sneakers. Like those, that's just, I don't know. Like when I saw it, it gives me like the CDR vibes a little bit. Like, I don't know. It's just fun watching him play. He definitely is going to be able to fill it up. There's no question about it.
And so next up, you go down to Oxford Tuesday night, big game tomorrow night. KenPom has that projected Ole Miss 81, Memphis 73. So it's supposed to be a loss, but that's why they play the games, Bennett.
That's right. And real quick, I wanted to give a big shout out to Musa Cisse because he was here over the weekend. He came back, got his degree, saw him play. Dude, he had some nice plays on Friday for the Mavericks. Like, he's a real player, and he had a good game their next game for the Mavs.
Yeah,
they're struggling, but he's like getting to play real NBA minutes, and that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. You know, context matters. He's playing real NBA minutes because that franchise stinks.
Yeah.
Like, they're in a really, people are already calling for them to, quote, blow it up.
Yeah. But you still got to produce when you're out there.
Yeah. There was a point in time where it was not clear to me that Musa Cisse was ever going to score points and grab rebounds and block shots in the NBA, despite being a 5-star prospect coming out of Lausanne Collegiate School. So the idea that he is now, the context is worth noting, but I almost don't even care. He's in the NBA scoring points and grabbing rebounds. That's a nice story.
Yeah, and then the other thing, like just about like the Tigers and what I saw on Saturday, the one thing that I really hope that comes from this season, obviously I hope they have a good season, but last year and the year before, like you had a lot of upperclassmen that were big contributors for the team, and it's probably going to be that way as well this year. You got a couple seniors that are going to be your biggest stars probably on this year's team, but like guys like Julius Stedford, Majok had a great game. Curtis Givens is a sophomore. Quante Berry had an awesome game. He's a junior. Like I do hope that he can find a way to keep some of these guys that are hopefully productive this season, but can keep some of these guys around and develop them so the fan base has something to look forward to for years to come. Because coming into this season, we didn't know the team, and so it's taken an adjustment to just get to know the team. And I think it was the big disappointment about Dane Danger not being able to come back, not being able to get the waiver, because that's a guy you knew and we're excited about seeing coming into this season.
If you came to
potentially.
FedEx Forum for the Arkansas-Memphis exhibition and you looked out to that court, you recognized Kelly Wise and Darius Washington and Jeremy Hunt and Clyde Wade and Andre Allen and Arthur Barclay, and then you looked over at your Memphis basketball team, like the actual team, 2025-26, and you have no idea who you're looking at.
Right. And so I do hope that he's able to keep some of these guys in the program and have be able to give the fans a connection there for guys that are going to be here multiple years. So that was just my observation. Also, I think they got a good point guard in Doug McDaniel.
Yeah.
I do. I think he's gonna help them a lot.
He's talented. He's had different types of struggles since entering college, but he's undeniably talented. Like that, the Memphis' team is led by talented guys who have had struggles in other places for a variety of reasons, and you hope that is enough to excel in the American and keep your head above water in the non-league portion of the schedule. So far, so good. 1-0 with a trip to Oxford on tap. That's tomorrow night.
Number 3.
Other college basketball stuff. Funny story originating out of Chapel Hill. So the biggest game, high-profile game of the weekend was Kansas, North Carolina at the Dean Smith Center. First time Kansas has ever played in Chapel Hill, which was kind of an odd thing. You would think two programs of that stature would have gotten together at some point, but they never had. Not in a true home-and-home way. So Kansas is Bill Self is at Chapel Hill. He's got Darren Peterson, widely regarded as the number one freshman in the country. And they take a loss to North Carolina, who was led by another freshman, Caleb Wilson, who got 24 points and 7 rebounds. He, like all these other guys, they're 5-star freshmen, kind of like Koa Pete at Arizona, Cam Ward at Michigan State, 5-star freshmen, but not a part of the, quote, Big Three conversation that everybody has attached to Darren Peterson, A.J. DeBonsa, and Cameron Boozer. And so he was asked about this on Friday night. Like, first big game of his college career, he goes 24-7, and he's just holding court with the media afterwards. Like, I can't wait to get a microphone in front of him. He was like, listen, I don't know why I'm not talked about the way those guys are talked about, but I wanted to let the world know I'm here and I am one of the best freshmen in this country. And he starts talking about, and I've used all of this to motivate me. Like, I even changed the wallpaper on my phone so that every day when I look at my phone, I have to see something that's going to motivate me. And so I'm constantly like, I'm keeping score. I know what everybody's saying. I know who y'all trying to put in the Hall of Fame already and who you're not. But just know that I'm changing my wallpaper every day and I'm keeping myself motivated. And I'm going to show you I belong in the conversation with those guys, and they shouldn't be put at the tip top of the sport unless you put me right there with them. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but this is the sentiment. So then somebody says, hey, well, what was your wallpaper today? I don't know, since you brought it up, your wallpaper on your iPhone, what was your wallpaper today? And he said, my wallpaper today was a picture of me apparently looking sad or something or frustrated at the McDonald's All-American game played earlier this year for the best high school players in the country. Mm-hmm. He said, my wallpaper today was of me not feeling good after the McDonald's All-American game where nobody passed me the ball the whole game. And he says, and guess who was on my team? Darren Peterson.
Oh, damn.
So he's basically saying the dude I just beat, the guy y'all saying is the number one pick in the draft, the guy I just beat, yeah, he was on my team at the McDonald's All-American game and wouldn't pass me the ball. Ball hog. That's who y'all anointing? That's who y'all putting the crown on? Well, I just put 24-7 on his team and got the victory. Now I got to go change my wallpaper. Love it.
Oh, I love it. I love the pettiness in college basketball. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
So I was thinking through this, and this is sort of an interesting thing that's been constructed. What we are watching right now, remember how last year as college basketball season unfolded, it was like you couldn't go 3 days without hearing somebody say, the SEC is like the greatest conference that we've ever seen. This is what we're watching right now is the greatest men's basketball conference we've ever seen. And I was saying that like in November and December. And I would say it, and I would just go on TV and just say it, matter-of-factly. And we're watching right now is maybe the best men's basketball conference of all time. And every time I would say it, people would clip it and get into the replies and be like, what are we talking about, the greatest of all time? It sounded like hyperbole. But it wasn't. It was quite literally the greatest men's basketball conference we've ever seen. It put more teams in the NCAA tournament than we've ever seen. Had 2 teams in the Final Four. Won the national championship. That was the greatest men's basketball conference of all time. And it just became a thing that everybody said. You couldn't watch basketball, particularly SEC basketball, without somebody saying it. This year's version is this. This is the greatest freshman class we've ever seen. You're going to hear it from me, from Rob Doster, from anybody who talks about basketball for a living. You're going to say it over and over again. What's interesting is, though we are now talking about it that way, the way we talked about it the entire offseason and for much of the preseason is that the freshman class is strong, and it's a big 3. The big 3, Cameron Boozer, Darren Peterson, A.J. DeBonsa. What order would you take them in for your college team, for your pro team? If you had the number 1 pick in the draft, which one would you take? Who do you think is going to be freshman of the year? Big 3. What order you would put? It's all been about the big 3. Well, what we're finding out is, yes, those 3 are projected to go 1, 2, 3 in the draft, but it's not like we cut off the elite freshman at 3. We could have been this whole time talking about a big 5 or a big 10 or a big 30, but we, for whatever reason, focused strictly on these 3 people and eliminated Koa Pete from the conversation, Caleb Wilson from the conversation, Cam Ward from the conversation, in part because they are considered NBA prospects, but not like the big 3. And they're all out there hearing this, and they cannot stand that they're not a part of the top shelf conversation about the best freshman in the country. In the span of a week, the opening week of the season, we've had 2 other freshmen create big-time performances on big stages. Koa Pete against Florida for Arizona, and then Caleb Wilson for North Carolina against Kansas. And after both of those games, the freshmen said, y'all have been slighting me. You're talking about the other ones. I belong a part of this conversation. We have constructed this thing where we focus so much on the top 3 guys that we act like everybody else is just in a different category altogether. It's like you're either special or you're not. The truth is, the top 3 are like extra special, but there's other freshmen who are going to have a chance to be first-team All-Americans that aren't named Darren Peterson, A.J. DeBonsa, or Cameron Boozer, and Caleb Wilson might be one of them. He's already a first-team All-American with his mouth, far as I can tell. Incredible freshman class, and they're going to be putting up big performances, it sounds like, basically every night.
Number 4.
Remember last week we were talking about Brian Kelly got fired. He had that $54 million buyout, and he had sent an email to LSU officials indicating that he was open to negotiating the terms of the buyout. Update from Mark Schlabach at ESPN. He has already rejected, reportedly, 2 offers from LSU and has indicated to them, now, if you do not make it clear to me by the end of today that you are going to pay me my $54 million buyout in monthly installments through the terms of the contract, which is, I believe, through 2031, then I will pursue legal recourse. Also made it clear, but if you have another offer, send it my way. But they are in a negotiating phase, and he's already turned them down twice, including one amount for, I think they offered somewhere around $25 million. Just, here's 25, and we'll offset the offset clause in your contract. We'll get rid of that. Because in his contract, if he gets another job, whatever he gets from the next job. So let's say he goes, and I'm just making something up, but he's the next head coach at Virginia Tech, and they pay him $5 million a year. That's money that Virginia Tech will then pay him that LSU wouldn't have to pay him. There's offset language.
I got you.
And so LSU was like, we can get rid of all that. So every penny you make going forward, it doesn't impact anything we have to pay you, and we'll just pay you this lump sum. And he rejected all of that. And so...
That's not that surprising.
No, because this is a negotiation, and you're probably going to reject the first 7 offers.
Mm-hmm.
But it is interesting, like, on one hand, if you're LSU, you're hoping this guy wants to coach again. And there's this offset language in this contract. So there's got to be a number we can get to that's less than 54. That if we just say, hey, we'll give it all to you right now or over the course of 3 years or 5 years or whatever, there's got to be a number we can say to him where he's willing to take it because he wants to coach again.
Yeah.
And that's just, the offset language is going to impact that in some way. But what if you're like, you know what, I'm 64 years old and I don't know if I want to coach again. And I can just ride this thing out and just enjoy my $54 million. You're going to be making incredible direct deposits into my account every month until I'm in my 70s. I'll just do that.
Mm-hmm.
It really does, on some level, come down to what does he want to do with the rest of his life. But he's not a young man. He's not 42 and doesn't know what he's going to do with the rest. Like, he's 64 years old. This is an age where some people start to retire, you know? We just don't do it.
I would love that.
We don't think about it with football coaches because it's like, well, they're coaching in their 70s. But, like, you could just walk away and enjoy the rest of your life at 64. It's younger than when Nick Saban did it, but it's not. There's a bunch of 64-year-olds right now just, like, not working because, like, they're just enjoying their lives. They've got enough money and they're enjoying their lives. And with a $54 million buyout, I think you got enough money to just enjoy your life.
What's the saying? Because they, like, we've talked about this before. Like, when you retire, like, that's like the beginning of the end. Like, you're fast tracking your
to heaven or hell?
You're fast tracking the end of your. Man, I think I could thrive. I think I could thrive.
My idea of retirement, I don't think will ever involve me literally not working.
You could not thrive in that scenario.
I would spiral.
You would be lost.
I would be lost.
I could sit in my backyard every day.
It's just if I'm not good with idle time.
Right.
I'm going to find something to do.
Yeah.
You know, I need structure. I need to be able to say, I can't do that now because I've got stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give me stuff to do, I'm ready to do that now.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is. I would not be good. I need places to be. I need things to do. I need other people to rely on me because if I just rely on myself, buddy, I can just disappear for 3 days.
Nah, man, just give me a rocking chair and a TV.
I know, but like that's what I'm saying. But that's what I would do.
And a 12-pack.
I mean, but I would just
some other stuff, and we'd be good.
I know, but I would. That's what I would do. I wouldn't. Right. I wouldn't build a garden in my backyard, you know, and tend it.
Mm-hmm.
I would just.
That sounds fun too.
I know, but here's what I would just waste time.
Yeah,
I would just waste my days. Just wake up and you talk to me after 3 days, and it'd be like, so GP, what have you done? Nah, I streamed some stuff and, you know, played some golf, and I just feel like I would just waste days. I have to have something to do. I get bored on not on vacation, but like there was a few weeks ago where I just took a week off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I needed
decompress.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know why I did it. I had it.
That's why you take off to decompress.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But like after a few days of that, it's just like what am I supposed to be doing?
What purpose do I serve?
I really do get that. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, okay, I had fun last night, but what am I doing? What am I doing? I got to have something to do. So I wouldn't be good just retiring. Like, my idea of, like, it sounds great if I could just take the kids to school, go to the golf course, play 18 holes with my buddies, have lunch, go pick the kids up, and then have the rest of my day. That sounds amazing. And that would be amazing to do today and amazing to do tomorrow. I bet you give me a month of it.
Then you're sick of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would need something to do. But I'm not Brian Kelly. He might need nothing to do.
That's true.
Except access to his $54 million. So I'll continue.
Give him his money.
I'll continue to let them negotiate, but he's rejected multiple offers, and now they got a deadline in place to put something in writing. We'll see where it goes from here.
Number 5.
So I flew home from Annapolis on Saturday, and was able to settle into the television in time for most of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony. It was streaming.
Oh, yeah. I saw you posting about it.
It was streaming live on Disney Plus.
I'll watch it tonight.
You should.
I was here last night, so I didn't get a chance. But I want to watch it. I always watch it.
I had a blast watching it. And it's because some of the artists that were inducted are like some of my favorite things. The White Stripes were inducted. That's one of my favorite bands from a different time. Soundgarden was inducted. That was one of the first big concerts I ever went to.
Oh, you saw Soundgarden?
How about this?
That's legit.
I've seen Soundgarden and I saw Chris Cornell solo. So I guess it's early 90s. And this is when Guns N' Roses is the biggest band in the world.
Yep.
Appetite for Destruction had launched them into another stratosphere. They went from like unknown to the biggest band in the world in like 3 months. Like this stuff that cannot happen anymore, like happened. Like, I don't think it is possible in the year 2025 for a rock band to be as big as Guns N' Roses got in a matter of months.
I believe that.
It can happen for rappers, but it cannot. You can go from nothing to, like, look at Glow. I mean, Grammy-nominated Glow, by the way.
That's right. Congrats.
It can happen for hip-hop artists, but in, like, rock bands, like, you can't do this in the year 2025. But Appetite comes out, and then they do the GNR Lies EP, and then Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And it's like, they're the biggest band in the world, you know. And they come into the Pyramid. And my dad's going to take me and my buddy, I think Chris Klein. And so you hear Guns is coming. That's awesome. And it's like with special guest Soundgarden. Now you have to understand, for a kid growing up in Mississippi in the early 90s, you have no access to Soundgarden. You don't even know, how would you even know that Soundgarden exists? We don't have the internet. They're not on MTV. You're not turning on Rock 103 or what. There's nowhere to even, you can't stumble into Soundgarden. They don't exist anywhere. But as you would, you know, like now, if it was like my favorite act is coming to Memphis with a special guest and I've never heard of them, I could literally just get into my phone and listen to everything they've ever done. So we go to can't do that back then. So it's like, who is Soundgarden? What is Soundgarden? So go to the little record store in the like Hickory Ridge Mall or whatever, and you're looking for Soundgarden. Like, hey, you have anything called Soundgarden?
Yeah, you got a copy of Bad Motorfinger?
That's exactly right.
It's one of my favorite albums.
I got Bad Motorfinger, and we went home and Rusty Cage, and it was like, what is this? And then they got famous after that.
Yes.
It was like Black Hole Sun, where they were radio everywhere, MTV everywhere, but all the stuff that made Soundgarden famous, it doesn't sound like Bad Motorfinger at all.
Right.
And so that was one of my first big concerts. Guns N' Roses with Soundgarden opening. And then several years later, I think when I was out of college, like early 20s, Chris Cornell came back solo, played the New Daisy, and he was amazing. Like he's one of the great singers of.
Rest in peace, man. He did have like the most unique voice.
Just like one of the great singers of that era. Like whatever you think of Eddie Vedder's voice and Lane Staley's voice and Kurt Cobain's voice.
Cornell's beats all of them to me.
He is the best singer. There's no getting around it, right? So it was nice just seeing Soundgarden there, and Chris Cornell's daughter, she sang. Another daughter spoke about him.
That's cool.
It was just sweet because you never, they lost their father. He took his own life. And I just thought it was sweet. Like they seemed to really have a good place in their heart for him. It didn't sound like they're caught up on the bad stuff or how it ended, as much as they seem to, at least with their words, they seem to express like, we know our dad loved us, and we know our dad was amazing, and we know our dad meant a lot to music and a lot to these people, and but we also know he struggled and he was really battling some stuff, and life was hard for him. But I don't know. It seemed like they were in a sweet place where you might otherwise not. That could have been a sad day for them, and it seemed like it was a special day for them. So like, I don't know. It was just nice to see.
Yeah.
And then Outkast is inducted, and Tyler the Creator performs Bombs Over Back. He was.
Oh man, when Andre got choked up, I was like, damn.
So that was a really sweet moment. Like Tyler was great, but there was this moment between Andre. He was just up there talking, and it was interesting because they were just sort of. His whole speech at the beginning of it was he was just shouting out people, which I thought was neat because think about award speeches, like whether it's the Oscars or Hall of Fames or anything. Outside of like a good Jimmy V speech, you don't really remember too much about it.
That's true.
But you know who does remember everything about it? If somebody on that stage ever shouts you out. Like if you ever watching the Oscars and somebody you know or somebody you helped or somebody you used to work with like mentions you, you'll remember that forever. Even if nobody else maybe will. And so it felt like Andre was kind of doing that. He was just shouting out people, like putting smiles on faces. And then he settled in. He clearly like saw Jack White from the White Stripes standing out there. And clearly like just, and then this popped into his head. There's a song called Little Room by the White Stripes, which is a very short but brilliant song.
I know it,
And Andre decided to, when he locked eyes with Jack White, he sort of went off path a little bit and settled into what I thought was maybe the sweetest moment of the whole night. I think Kyra's got it queued up. Kyra, let's watch this together.
One thing that Jack said, man, Jack is, man, he's one of my favorites, man. We love you, man. But one thing that he said something about little rooms. And we started in a little, little rooms. Great things start in little rooms. Yeah, man. That's it.
Long live Uncle Mooney.
Long live Uncle Mooney. That goes without saying. I thought that was sweet.
That was cool.
For people who don't know the song, it's just the simplest little 50-second song.
Yep.
And the whole thing is just basically like you're in your little room and you're working on something good. But if it's really good, you're going to need a bigger room. And then you get in this bigger room and you might not know what to do. And then you just got to remember like how you got started in your little room. And so it's just simple. But I think that resonates probably with everybody who's ever stood on a stage like that. Anybody who's ever accomplished anything in any aspect of life or entertainment. Think back to where it was when you got started. Like you could ask Chris Vernon this question. Like what was your little room? Everybody's got a little room that they started in. And you get to these big rooms, and it's like, man, I never thought I was going to get here. And that is quite literally the story of the White Stripes. Like, they don't even play the type of music you're supposed to get famous playing. A two-person band, she really didn't know how to play the drums. She was just sort of doing what she does, which was a harsh criticism directed at her, but then somehow became like the heart of the White Stripes in many ways. And for Andre to like touch on that, I thought, and make that connection, I thought was awesome. And there's a White Stripes story. You can find this on YouTube. Like one of their first big festivals, like first big things, they used to play Ernestine and Hazel's. Do you know that story?
Yeah.
The night before 9/11, Jack and Meg White played Ernestine and Hazel's. And I didn't go. I have no idea why I didn't go. It was just not on my radar.
I wasn't allowed to go. I was a sophomore in high school.
I mean, I was like, my roommate went. Like when we woke up the next morning, there were planes crashing into buildings. And once we got through all that, I was like, so how was the show last night? But that's where it was. That's what they were supposed to be. It's just a guy and a girl. They were married for a little while. A guy and a girl, drums and guitar, punk rock band, playing Ernestine and Hazel's. That's what they were supposed to be. But then it just blew up. And so one of their first big festivals was this Glastonbury Festival.
In the UK.
Yeah. And they opened with Little Room. Obviously, intentionally. Like, what is going on? And so what's the song? If you're really good, you're going to end up in these bigger rooms. You might not know what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do here? I'm supposed to be at Ernestine and Hazel's. What am I doing here? Just remember how you got started in a little room. Now let's go. And they go to that and then straight into Dead Leaves and Dirty Ground. And the rest, as they say, is history. They played the amphitheater down in South Haven.
Mm-hmm.
They were on this tour where they were trying to, or at some point in time, they were trying to play in all 50 states. And I guess the easiest way to knock Mississippi off is to do it in suburban Memphis, just across the state line. So they played, I guess it's the Bank Plus Amphitheater down there. And incredible show. And the thing I remember most about it is just how loud they were. The idea that much sound could come from those two people is like not normal. And they did it as well as anybody. You know, other people have tried to pull this off, like two people, Black Keys stuff, but nobody's ever done it like this. And my only wish is that like Meg would have been there. She wasn't there. You know, she struggles with anxiety and she's very like crippling shy. Like they've had to, back when they were playing together, they had to postpone tours because she just couldn't, she never intended to be famous. It was not, and she is not comfortable with it at all. So Jack did say that he had been talking to Meg back and forth over the, past week or so. And he passed along some words from her, but like she couldn't, he said she, sorry she couldn't make it, but you read between the lines, it's like she's seemingly incapable of being comfortable in that stage, which is the biggest obstacle to them ever doing what so many Hall of Fame bands do, which is get back together at some point to go on tours. Oasis has been doing it earlier this year. Like the White Stripes should do that and would be able to sell out arenas, stadiums all over the world just like that, just by playing nothing but their hits because they've got big, big songs. Like Seven Nation Army, they touched on this last night. Like that is a song everybody in the world kind of knows.
It's become,
even if you don't know, you know it.
Well, it's become a sports stadium thing.
It's a chant.
Right? Yeah,
it's a thing.
Yeah.
They're football stadiums, and they're chanting Seven Nation Army every Saturday and every Sunday. Soccer stadiums all over the world, and they're chanting Seven Nation Army. And Jack White talked about this a little bit. He's like, he's like, I was just playing around during a sound check. And I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
And just like playing around, and then you make it, and then he's like, I know there are people who chant that, they know it, they chant it, and they have no idea who I am. They do not connect it to me at all. It's just something that's in the world now. You don't even know, you don't have to, it's just in the world. And you can start asking questions like, what is this? Where? But you know it. You know it whether you know it or not. You know it whether you know Jack White or not, whether you know the White Stripes or not. You know it. And so they could tour off of that and their other big hits and make $1 billion, like literally $1 billion probably. But there's real doubt about whether that will ever happen because Meg's just not comfortable living that life. But it was, I couldn't encourage you enough to go watch it. If you care about any of these bands, you'll have a good time. Olivia Rodrigo performed in honor of the White Stripes. So if you're a young person trying to connect it to your generation, Olivia Rodrigo, big White Stripes fan, and she performed. She was great. The whole thing was great. Just a trip down memory lane. You're watching the Soundgarden guys and seeing Outkast there. I think that's the greatest hip-hop duo of all time. And to see them recognized in this way, and Andre, one of the greatest, like, we get into these GOAT conversations all the time. Like, he's a real GOAT of hip-hop. Like, he's one of the best to ever do it. So Disney Plus, it's streamed live on Saturday night, but you can get it right now or tonight. So Bennett, get on it. You'll enjoy it. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Be back with GP's Carry Out.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at grizzlies.com/Saturday.
Season yet by featuring your local small business at Grizz Shop Local. It's going to be on Saturday, November 29th here at FedEx Forum. You can become a vendor and introduce your products to Grizz Nation just in time for the holidays. Visit grizzlies.com/shop local and apply to become a vendor. You can do it by Monday, November 17th. That's by next Monday. Again, that address is grizzlies.com/shop local. Let's do GP's Carry Out.
It's time for GP's Carry Out. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Some news from the NFL earlier today. Rob Gronkowski has announced that he plans to sign a ceremonial one-day contract with the New England Patriots.
Oh, that's nice.
Later this week so that he can retire as a Patriot for life, fulfilling the wish of a close friend who died from cancer earlier this month. That's sweet, isn't it?
That is sweet.
Gronk should be a Patriot for life, shouldn't he?
Of course.
He made an appearance. Not an appearance, but they got a Gronk joke in SNL Weekend Update. Did you see this weekend?
No, I didn't see it.
It's actually pretty good. They were talking about Tom Brady's clone dog. And they were like, because we talked about this last week.
Yep.
Tom Brady has announced that he has cloned his dog to create a new dog. And they were like, in a related note, Tom Brady also confirmed that throughout his career, he had 8 different Gronks. Hey, I'd clone a Gronk if I could.
For sure.
Hey, if it was Gronk's friend's wish for him to retire a Patriot, then I'm happy this is getting done.
Remember when Gronk had to make the ad saying don't eat Tide Pods? Remember that? Remember when people were eating the Tide Pods?
I remember for a minute, did people stop?
I think people stopped, yeah.
Were they good? Were they ever any good?
No, they look tasty.
They don't look bad.
No, they look great.
They do kind of look
like
good.
I understood why people were like, I kind of want to bite into one of those, see what's up. Now I could have instantly said, well, it's like soap.
Yeah. It's detergent.
It's detergent.
It's literally detergent.
Yeah, but they do look good.
They don't look bad. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Would you bite into it? If I told you, like, hey, just to make me laugh, would you eat this Tide Pod, please? Would you do it?
No.
What do you think kids were trying to get done? Like, what were you trying? Like, I know when I was a kid, like we might get some glue and sniff it because we was trying to get high off of glue.
Yeah.
What were you trying to do with the Tide Pod?
Go viral.
But that, like, it wouldn't make you feel some kind of way.
I don't know. I think,
what is the point of eating a Tide Pod if you're not going to get super high somehow?
To go viral.
You're just doing it to do it.
Yeah, impressions, yeah.
I guess. That's not the reason I would do it, I don't think.
But Gronk had to make an ad saying, "Stop it, kids."
Stop it, kids.
Yeah. And they listened, so good on him. I don't think anyone eats those anymore.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Not in this economy.
No, those things are expensive as hell. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you might as well eat filet mignon before you eat your Tide Pods. All right? Might as well go to Folks Folly and get a steak.
Yeah.
Them Tide Pods ain't cheap.
No.
You know?
They are not. They're not.
So anyway.
Thanks, Gronk.
Thanks, Gronk. Appreciate that, what you did.
What's today's biggest game?
We'll do Monday Night Football. Are you ready for some football?
Yeah.
A Monday night party?
I think I'm ready.
It's the Eagles and the Packers. Oh, this is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
People like this one, huh?
Yeah.
It's going to do it. Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin. The temperature is 32 degrees. That means we've got frozen tundra. The tundra is frozen. My understanding, I mean, I'm not a meteorologist, but my understanding is that tundra freezes at 32.
Okay.
And that's 32 like in the middle of the day. What do you think it's going to be tonight? 28?
Yeah.
24?
They love it. They thrive in it.
That tundra is going to be frozen.
Yeah.
The tundra's frozen.
What are we looking at?
Packers minus 1.5. The total's 46.5. 7:15 on ABC.
See, they're telling you to take the tundra.
They're begging you to take the tundra.
They're begging you to take the tundra. Oh, it's Green Bay in the winter.
The Super Bowl champs on the other side.
I think I'm going to go with the champs.
Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
AJ Brown still bitching about everything?
Green Bay just lost to the Panthers, dude. Like, come on.
AJ Brown still bitching every day?
Yeah.
What's he so mad about still?
I don't know. He's kind of a diva.
What's he whining about all the time?
I like him, though.
Sometimes I have to look at...
I wish he was still on my team.
Sometimes I have to look at one of my boys and I have to say, hey, listen, cut it out. Cut out the whining, all right? You're whining right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're whining right now, and I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear good things come out of your mouth, but right now you're just whining and complaining, and I don't want to hear it. So go into the other room and come back in here when that part of the day is over for you. And I feel like if A.J. Brown was my son, I would say the exact same thing to him. Why are you complaining all the time?
It's, I mean, you know, star receiver. He ain't the first.
He's not the first.
No.
I'm old enough to remember T.O.
Yeah, I wish he was still on my favorite team, but that's neither here nor there. I think I'm going to go with the champs. I think they're begging you to take the tundra, but I just think the Eagles are better than the Packers.
All right. That's good enough for me.
They're going to tush-push their way to victory. They ain't outlawed it yet.
They ain't outlawed it yet. Is that common, by the way?
Yes. I bet it won't. I bet they won't be allowed to do it next year.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the tush-push?
I love it. Oh, why? I don't understand why. Because I see other teams try to do it, and they can't pull it off like the Eagles can.
That's my...
I don't understand why.
I'm not sophisticated enough to understand all angles of it, but here's my best shot. Other teams try it and do not do it nearly as well, which suggests this ain't just something everybody can do. It is something they have mastered.
It's because their quarterback has like the thickest legs you've ever seen.
He's thick.
Yeah.
Thick.
Pushes that pile.
He's thick. So maybe you get you rather than out there complaining about the tush push, why don't you get you a thick quarterback, right? Right. So it's not something everybody can do because everybody doesn't do it well. It's something they do well. They have mastered it. So we're really going to create a rule to ban something that we thought was legal all along, and now we're just getting rid of it because they do it better than everybody else, more often than anybody else does it? Does that seem right? I don't know. And the main argument you hear against it, at least the main argument you used to hear against it, was like, you got to get it out of football. Why? Because it's dangerous. It's not that dangerous. You know what Jason Kelsey says? I'd still be playing football if we just push every play. Not dangerous. Like, show me the data that says it's dangerous. They can't because it doesn't exist.
No.
Yeah. Like they show you the data on kickoffs. That was dangerous. So did something about that. But they all say it's dangerous, but they can't prove it to you. And the center, who was the face of it forever, he says, not that I liked the play. I felt safe. I did not feel like I was in danger. I felt safe. Hey, we'll see it tonight. We'll probably see it tonight.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles. I'm uncertain, but I'm going Eagles.
Then it said take the Eagles on the road plus the 1.5.
What are we watching on TV?
I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony.
Okay.
I talked to you about it. I told you everything you need to know. It's long. Oh, buddy, you better carve out some time. And you can fast forward.
Sure.
Salt and Pepper was there, too. I should point them out. That was fun. The whole night was fun. Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, nice.
Chapel Roan was there to help induct Cyndi Lauper. That makes sense.
Yep.
Right? It's a fun, several hours, but fun. Disney Plus, you can stream it right now.
What's the best thing we've read?
I updated the top 25 and one earlier today and wrote a little bit about Purdue, given that they're going to be number one again in the AP poll. Of course, Purdue scheduled to play your Memphis Tigers in the Bahamas later on this month. So if you want to read about 300 words on them, you can find it at cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Man, I have no idea, if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm supposed to be going to New York, all right? But my flight has already been delayed.
Oh.
And
we're about to get out of this, though. It sounds like.
I saw there was some Senate stuff going on last night.
I think they're working this thing out.
They're working it out?
Yeah.
I did see a Delta pilot went viral yesterday. There's like a plane stuck on the tarmac at LaGuardia. And it was like delayed 2 hours, then on the tarmac 2 hours. People are getting, just frustrated.
There's no worse feeling.
This is my whole thing. I understand life happens. And I understand life certainly happens in the middle of a government shutdown. I get it. I'm not mad at anybody. I understand everybody's doing the best they can. I would really appreciate it if you're going to cancel. Just tell me now. Tell me now.
Don't make me sit on a plane for 2 hours on the runway.
Don't make me go park, check my bags, get through security, sit in the Sky Club for 3 hours. I mean, I'll have a good time. But, yeah, just... If you, honestly, they just cancel me right now. I just send a text message to my bosses and say, hey, it doesn't look like I'm going to get there. And then I go home and take a nap, probably.
Yeah.
And then get up and go get my boys from school and have a nice night at the house. I'm fine. Just don't make me sit at the airport. So this pilot yesterday, he jumps on the, mic, and he's like, listen, I know everybody's frustrated. And I know that we probably got a plane filled with people with different political allegiances, right? Some of you vote one way, some of you vote the other way. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care how we got into this mess. Just please talk to your senators, call them, because we got to get this fixed. This is awful for everybody.
Yeah.
Our lives are bad. Your lives are bad. This is more dangerous than it probably should be. This is not good. This is not good. However we got here, we could talk about that another day, but we need to get out of this. So, I don't know exactly when we will be out of this mess. But in the meantime, it's a mess. I know sometimes, I think I said this last week, you're watching cable news, whatever you watch, and everything is magnified. And it's you turn on television on one station and you could see they make you think this city's about to be in a war, and then you actually go to the city and you're like, it's not really like that. I mean, everything seems fine. You can be misled sometimes by cable news. That's what I'm trying to say. So I know sometimes you'd be like, yeah, I saw on the news they said the airport's crazy, but are they really crazy? Yes, they are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're not misleading you here. I got delayed going to Annapolis on Thursday, got delayed coming back from Annapolis on Saturday. Now I'm headed back to New York, in theory, and already delayed and possibly canceled. It's rough out there. So what's on tap for tomorrow? That was the question. I don't know. I might be doing the show from New York City. Might be doing the show right here. I don't know. But either way, we'll be getting ready for Grizzlies Knicks.
Yep.
Inside the Garden.
Big one.
I'll either be in New York with the Grizzlies or in Memphis with Bennett.
Okay. Sounds good.
And it's not up
I
to
won't
me.
be here. CJ will be here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, everyone's out of school. I don't understand. Well, tomorrow's Veterans Day. Actually, respect. I'm sorry. That was
respect for Veterans Day.
My kid's out of school today, though. Why?
Why? And I talked to him.
He don't know.
I asked him. I said, "You out of school for Veterans Day?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Would you pay the ultimate sacrifice for your country?" He just looked at me, dumbfounded. I said, "Would you die for your country?" Is that something you're supposed to be asking a child?
Probably not. I'm probably going to have a conversation with him now.
I apologize.
Yeah, so thanks.
I apologize. I just wanted to see where he stood,
Yeah.
How about this?
Gotta start early, I guess.
How about this life are you? So I looked him right in his little eyes. I said, "Would you be willing to die for your country?" And he was like, "I don't think so."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Yeah, me neither, probably." So
maybe one day, buddy.
Maybe one day. But we appreciate everybody who would. That's what I was trying to teach your son. We appreciate everybody who would. So happy Veterans Day. Looking forward to tomorrow. Wherever I'm at. Enjoy the rest of your day. Unless you're at an airport, then good luck. I'm going to try to enjoy mine. We'll meet back here one way or another tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.